What's up, everybody? Welcome to the spotlight for all these prospects. But my special guest, let's please welcome my special guest from Wayne State, Kaleb Coleman. Merrill, how's it going?
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me on today, man. I really appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, bro. For those people who are not familiar with you, man, tell them who you are, man.
All right, well, my name is Kaleb Coleman, from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised. I went to school out in Beverly Hills, Birmingham, though. And then for my college years, my undergrad years, I played at Morgan State, HBCU out in Baltimore, Maryland. And then entering my last year, I wanted to pursue my master's as well as, come back closer to home. So I came back to the city, man, to play my last year.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool. So at least you got, so you played a lot of college throughout the COVID year, right?
so actually, so COVID was my year. I'm a COVID baby through and through. That was my senior year of high school. Uh, Over at Morgan, we didn't play, like we didn't have a season. But we like worked out and practice. But really, I more so say just look at it as I was an early enrollee for the 2021 class. That's probably like the simplest way to look at it because that's really when I was able to be on campus and lift and practice with the team and everything like that.
Well, okay. So what was the experience like going from Morgan State?
You mean leaving Morgan or my time at
Just
Morgan?
your time there.
So my time at Morgan, I really say it's unforgettable, man. Like it's nothing like the HBCU experience for one. Um, I met some amazing people there. More so than anything than places, it's the people and the relationships you build. Like I met some great mentors who helped shape me into the man I am today. And then I met a bunch of people and teammates who turned into be brothers. That's like I consider to be like lifelong friends that like they gonna be at my wedding someday.
Okay, those are good friendships you could build along the way. So, what was the early part that got you into football?
So I actually got into football pretty late. I didn't start playing the game of football until I was 12 years old. Now, granted, I was an active kid though. Like my parents had us in everything. Like I swam, played soccer, basketball, baseball, ran track. But then I kind of took a little hiatus. Just we had some things going on in my family when I was younger. I stopped playing sports for a while, and then football was the next one to play, and I really got into it because of my younger brother Malachi. Um, so he a few years younger than me, but he was always a big kid. Like I'm talking about, families always said, "Oh no, he gonna be big, he gonna be this tall, he gonna go play in the NFL, bang bang, all this stuff." And so when he turned 7 and was old enough for like tackle football, my parents signed him up right away. Like he was asking to play, wanting to play. And it was really just me going to his practices with like my mother and just watching what he was doing. And then I was just like, man, I could do this too, man. Granted, at the time they was just in t-shirts and shorts, running around in cleats. Uh, then when the pass came on, I really got to see what football was about. But my
Okay,
younger brother got me into the game.
so your younger brother was your encouragement. Okay, that's something out of the ordinary. Seems kind of rare every now and then, but like sometimes it would be the bigger brother that would get you into it, or family members or friends. It would be that kind of path for some people.
Nah, yeah, I was so I am the oldest. I'm the oldest of 4 siblings. But
Wow.
yeah, no, football. Honestly, be honest with you, growing up, I was the nerdy kid, man. I was, glasses. I went to a it was an academy school, so we wore the vest with the ties, and I was like, I would come home, finish all my homework on Mondays and stuff like that. Like I wanted to into football really because well, my father, we from Detroit. My father, a diehard Lions fan, and then if back them early 2000s, the Lions were not what they are now. So my father, he didn't typically watch the games with us and everything like that. In his words, he was saving me from like loving a sorry franchise, man. But they up now though,
Yeah,
so it's all good now.
but it would be a dream come true for you to go play for the Lions, huh?
Man, it'd be so crazy. More so than like that just being hometown and being able for all my family to just come to the games. I actually was fortunate enough to train with a multitude of different Lions players prior to my season up at Wayne. I got to train with Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Amit Roberson, and Khalil Dorsey. Um, Over with my DB coach, Kason Dickerson.
Okay.
So really over that whole summer, I was getting it in with them guys, and that was another reaffirms like, hold on, man, like you come out here with them, like you look like them, you move like them, like you compete against them, and you win your reps. You take your lumps sometimes, but that just kind of reaffirmed that, like, man, this is really possible for me.
I mean, just getting the chance to be around those guys and them showing you the ropes, what you can do, and that dude, that's kind of like something you can look forward to, huh?
Man, absolutely. I already credit Kirby Joseph though, because it was really the first time I worked out with him, and Brian Branch was also there. Man, I'm leaving the workout, just you say your buys all the dudes, and he uh he called me before I was leaving and just like, hey man, like I heard you going to Wayne, and like I know they ain't had the best history of like winning. It's a small school, but he's like, man, what I seen from you today, he's like, bro, like you can make it from there. Just like handle your business, do what you gotta do, and like ball out, and just things along that nature. And then I was just like, I was kind of taken aback because I'm like, man, you don't have to come say nothing like that. Didn't nobody tell him to do that. That was just like him being the guy he was, and that was something I really carried through this past season and even to right now.
So that guy reached out to you and gave you some encouragement. That's kind of good, man. I mean, then telling you, then going to a program that's not quite like you're saying, but now going from there, so going back to the crib where you're from,
Mm.
what's the environment playing at Wayne State? What's the difference?
So the difference from Morgan. So if I'm be honest with you, as far as like the city, like Detroit and Baltimore, they ain't got too many differences. Like I felt at home being out in Baltimore. Now I say like geographically, like the landscape, it's a lot hillier out there, and then it's right by the water, so it get cold over there. Um, but like playing down in Wayne, uh, the thing I noticed is like when I got there, Wayne really should be, a whole lot better than what it is. Like, if I know you from over on the West Coast, but out here, Midwest football, the GLIAC conference is the best conference in Division two football. And like, we have the Ferrises and the Grand Valleys, but a lot of their players come from, Detroit, and it's just like Wayne has all the resources. They have the weight room, they have the facilities, they have the money, they have the location. So it's just really just being there, I was like, man, like you really have all the resources to really be great here. But they're just stuck in a rut right now. But I would say, playing back at Wayne, I mean, I would just say it's eye opening, man. That when it comes to this game of football, man, it takes a lot to win, man. From coaches to players to administration.
Okay, so it took you, but at least they had more resources there for you.
Um, I would say they had a pretty good amount of resources, especially for the Division two level. I would say I'm definitely I'm definitely grateful, that God brought me to that place because obviously being at Wayne, being so close and still training out here, I'm able to continue to use those resources. Like Wayne, 20 minutes for me. So if I need to go talk to my coach about um, what I should do for a pro day or what team's been looking at me, talking to me, or if I just need to go to the training room or talk to my old strength coach, man, they right there, and ain't nothing for me to hop on the freeway.
Okay, at least it got you there. But you said it's like a 20-minute drive from over there, so it's not too far for you.
Oh nah, yeah, 20 minutes. I'm right there.
Okay, so was there like any other football teams you met before this interview?
Uh, that I met with before
Yeah,
right now, no, not I ain't meeting none today.
probably maybe the Lions low key might be interested in you.
Man, I mean, the Lions, we had two different Lion scouts show up to Wayne over the course of this past season. So, um, and then it was another Lion scout who came through just a few weeks ago. So, I mean, maybe hoping to
I mean,
hoping to get the opportunity.
I'm guessing from the interest. I'm just saying one team, just a local team, might be interested in you. So I'm guessing.
Hey, I hope, hey man, I
Okay,
hope so.
okay, but So, what makes you really stand out from the rest of those DBs in the draft?
Um, so I would say when it comes to on the field, I would say what's gonna really set me apart is from the neck up. Is like we all gonna run fast, we all gonna jump high, we all gonna look the part. But I say what on the field was really gonna set me apart is from the neck up. Like I'm an extremely cerebral football player. Like I take pride in watching film. I take pride in knowing what the offense is gonna come out and do, knowing us as a defense and my personnel, like what they good at, what they weak at, what they like to do, as well as putting them in the best positions possible. So I would say that, and then additionally, like my transition and tracking ability, like my ability to really just see ball, get ball, whether that be a ball carrier or the ball being in the air. Now off the field, I would say this may not be something you hear often, but I say my stamina. And when I speak on that, I mean my mentally and physically. Like definitely going through this process, and being an athlete, like the mental battle is definitely a big one, and it's not one that's talked about a whole lot, because you train so hard, you put so much into whatever your career field is, and like sometimes you don't come out on top or you don't hit those goals or those marks that you done put in those countless hours towards. Um, but being able to wake up each and every day and say, "Hey, I didn't get the results I wanted today, but I'm gonna come back tomorrow and still give 100% because that's who I am and that's what I stand for." So I would say that aspect off the field, that mental toughness and mental stamina, man.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. So, that would probably be another reason why you should believe that why other teams should draft you, huh?
Man, no doubt. I know everybody gonna get up here and say they the best and poke their chest out or have reasons of why, but man, I'm a firm believer of, man, I can play football on the field with anybody. I don't care if you from Cali, you from Texas, you from Florida, you from Canada, you from Brazil. You blue, yellow, green, orange. You played at Bama, you played at Ohio State, and at the end of the day, you put a helmet on, bro. I don't care about none of that, man. You gotta see me, and I gotta see you, and
Yeah,
then at the end of the day, it's one-on-one battles.
yeah. Whatever the competition is, it shouldn't matter because you have more of the confidence to prove it. Because playing that cornerback position, it comes with confidence with that.
Oh no, yeah. So I ain't play corner. I'm a nickel safety though, so I take the slot corner.
Also,
But I
slot
actually,
corner. Okay.
but I actually did. So I transferred. Like I was transferring from Morgan. When I entered the portal, I did have a few teams who reached out to me, or a few universities. I'm sorry, who reached out to me and was like they wanted me to come as a corner. Now I don't have no doubts about my coverage ability, but just me having some foresight, I was like, man, I'm not finna go to the league as no corner. Like that's not what no NFL team done came or inquired to me about, or even none of my head coaches. So, I was like, man, I appreciate it, but I think I need to play safety or I need to play nickel somewhere.
I mean, they do kind of value that position a lot because there's always that third corner that they can always use in different roles. So, like, you see that with teams like Detroit, San Francisco, and quite a few other football teams use a nickel. So, a nickel would be
Okay.
somebody like, it would be like somebody like you would look at I guess you would look at somebody like a Brian Branch or a Diamondo
Absolutely.
or CG Gardner Johnson, which I think he does in Philadelphia, but still, you get some of those kind of guys. That's where you're probably aiming for, huh?
Yes, sir. Talking with a lot of my coaches, that's most likely what I'm gonna be. Just off my size and then my just my play style, like a lot of my strengths. Now I can go back and play safety. Like I ain't got no problem. Like command the defense. Um, really, what my head coach told me about this, he was like, in the league, like so they are high on versatility, but someone in my situation coming from a smaller school, he said they kind of want to know what is he like. What am I? Am I a safety or am I a nickel? Now, you ask me, man, I'm a football player. You put me in whatever position you feel I'm a best suit the team and the defense, and then that's what I'm gonna play.
Okay, so you're a football player who will do whatever's necessary. So that's why you want to play those spots so you can show versatility, right?
Yes, sir. Like, growing up, first starting playing football, like, a lot of dudes, they come out with a position they want to be. Oh, I want to be a receiver. I want to be the quarterback. Or I want to be the running back. Man, my father always told me, he's like, man, Caleb, you a football player first. Like, the coach will tell you what he wants you to play. And then, throughout my career, I done played everything except for O-line. Like, every position on the field, I done played except for O-line and the kicker, man.
So you didn't play so you played all positions except kicker and O line. So you do have some versatility to play other spots. So maybe a slot receiver can be like a spot they use you at, or maybe like I don't know, like other spots like linebacker. I don't know, but you show versatility, so it should kind of like give you that background. So playing nickel and all that other stuff, it gives you a better understanding of what you can expect from a quarterback and a wide receiver kind of situation.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. So, me, when I'm lining up playing nickel, uh, one of my ODCs, he used to always tell me, this is one thing he got to teach me was like, Caleb, you don't got to see the whole picture. Like, in football, you can see a little and it'll tell you a whole lot. So, like when I'm playing nickel, my keys are gonna be if I got a slot receiver, I'm gonna key the slot receiver to the end man line of scrimmage, the tackle, and I'm gonna see the quarterback and all of that. So in my eyes, it's kind of a oblique triangle or obtuse triangle I'm looking at. Now, if my number two is a tight end, I'm gonna see the tight end, the tackle, and the guard to the quarterback and the running back. Like I ain't, too concerned about the outside number one receiver doing because based off what my number two does, that's gonna give me intel on, what number one gonna do. If number two go out, number one gonna go vertical or he gonna come back in. If number two go in, number one is coming in some way, shape, or form. And then, O line, they gonna tell you anything, bro. They be tired of sitting in their stances. They gonna show hi hat. They gonna be heavy on their hands, man.
Okay, so that's kind of a good way to put it. But are you the kind of guy that does trash talking, or you let your play do the talking?
Man, so be honest with you. So I'm quiet when we play football. Like I'm quiet until somebody get to talking to me. You get to talking to me. Hey, now we got a little back and forth going. But don't let me get my hands on the ball. Like if I get my hands on the ball early on in the game, I'm not shutting up. I won't shut up, man.
So you're low key a trash talker, but only when it's necessary, right?
Oh yeah, man.
Okay, so what are you outside of football as a person?
Outside of football, man, I'm an older brother and I'm a son. Like first and foremost, man. I'm heavy in the family. Family's big for me. Um, and then I'm an avid. I was gonna say workouter. Like I love fitness. Fitness is big in my life. I actually got my degree in nutritional science, my undergrad, and then my master's I was pursuing was exercise and sports science. So if you just see those, you'll see like I really have a big interest in fitness. Now when it comes to more like hobbies and things of that nature, um, I can draw and I love to cook.
Okay, I mean, at least you got your backup plans, like all that other stuff you got ahead. So at least you're kind of well prepared for those plans. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Just from looking at it. So what's like your go-to kind of favorite food do you like, man? Just that like favorite type.
Go to favorite cuisine. Favorite cuisine. Like everybody use that term big back, man. I'm a big back, bro. I love it all, bro. Italian, Chinese, Jamaican, Caribbean, Mexican, soul food. Man, you could bring each and every one of them in the house, bro. I'm gonna smile the same way, man. You gonna see all 32 teeth, man, or however many teeth you got.
That's kind of a good way to put it. Like, who can't go wrong with Italian and all that other food? So
Man, you can't go wrong.
you can't go wrong with it. But we can do a couple. We can do some rapid fire questions. I think this might be something that's more debatable for Detroit. So since you're from that area, what would you prefer, Little Caesars or Hungry Howie's?
Little Caesars.
Okay.
I don't know Hungry Howie's for real, man.
Oh man, because I know they're both from that state, so it's like it's a common thing. But yeah, Little Caesar, you can't go wrong with it. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
I
be
like
honest with you.
both of them, but I think, like you said, there's a difference with Little Caesars.
Yeah, you ain't gonna catch. Well, you're not gonna catch me ever saying like I want Hungry Howie's. That's not coming up. And this one right, like I'm talking about 10-minute walk right down the street from me, but
I
not yet. But I will say, Little Caesar, it don't hit the same like out of the state. Like outside of Michigan, it's not really the same, in my opinion.
okay. I mean, Little Caesars, I like their original pizzas or even their extra toppings and all that stuff. And then their crazy breads is always the best one. But
Yeah.
I'm not quite picky on Hungry Howie's. I like how they do a little bit different, a little bit different with the taste and all the crust stuff. But like you said, the pizza just doesn't compare to what Little Caesar does.
Yeah, man, you go. I want the original pepperoni, and then I want the Parmesan on the crust, man, with the butter. I'm
Hey,
good.
that's what's up, man. So let's put it this way. So okay, so I know this is part of like a very known place in Detroit, but I never tried it. But have you ever tried this place called Mama Spaghetti's by Eminem?
Nah, I've never tried that.
I don't know what the difference is, but I heard it's supposed to be like something out of Eminem or something.
Oh well, shoot. I mean, to those that know, they probably know me. When it comes to spaghetti, I'ma just eat my mama's. Like it's the best. It's the best that I know. Like I'll put
Okay.
hers up against any Italians.
Oh yeah, for sure. So let's put it this way: do you feel like Eminem's the greatest rapper to ever live, or nah?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. Like he's that top 10 for sure. He's top 10
Top
for
10. So is there a
sure.
better Detroit rapper?
Um, I would say from Detroit, probably not. Like back him in his prime, I would say probably not. But he definitely like who he was and his flow and the things he was talking about were way different than like what rappers from today. I would say more so my area is talking about. But I
Okay.
was like, you can enjoy all of them.
Okay. So yeah, that's a good way to put it. Here's another good one for fast food. McDonald's or Burger King?
Oh, be honest with you, I really be avoiding McDonald's, man. Now that I'm older, so I really go Burger King. Like I can't hold you.
Oh man, it's probably the first time somebody answered the other way around because I would say like they would just say McDonald's automatically. I'm like, what?
Man, people saying McDonald's more off the nostalgia, man. Like, and if you go to Burger King, in my opinion, bro, you got to know what to order. Like, me, I'm not ordering a Whopper. I'm gonna just get a regular, double bacon cheeseburger, um, and then over at McDonald's always gonna be there. They always a special place in my heart. Especially being in college, like when money was a little tight, and the McDonald's right across the street. Hey man, I'm gonna go in here and make this little couple bucks in my pocket shake, man. But I will speak on my man's Carl though put me on to the so I don't really drink juice, but the
Yeah.
one I would was that orange high C from McDonald's. Large orange high C with no ice.
Oh man, yeah, the high C drinks from McDonald's. I usually like the sweet teas and all that.
hmm
Oh, I don't know. Like, you ever try Carl's Jr. or not?
So they not really out my way, but I think I probably done had it before, like just driving through like Ohio and stuff like that, maybe PA.
They would call them Hardee's or something over there.
Yeah, Hardee's. Yeah, I done definitely
Yeah.
had them.
Ooh, I like this question by Grandizer. Let's see. What are your favorite things about playing for Wayne State football?
Favorite things while playing for Wayne State football. Uh, I would really say so. It's a few things, but I would say playing for the alumni. But in saying that, it's more so like because you always have people who care about certain about their programs or where they played or where they went to school. So I would say like when you can go out there and you can make a play in front of the alumni and then you hear them chant your name or you hear them cheering for you or you catch them like after the game they coming up to you be like, hey, number one, that was a crazy player, you nice or all this different type stuff. And then too on the same flip side of it, even when y'all not winning or you not making a play or they holding you accountable about some stuff, like I enjoy that too, man. Like I had it was some dude from Wayne. I was at a women's basketball game, and then he mistaken me for Joy Bell's son. I don't know how he did that, but then I was like, oh no, yeah, his son number 83. He play receiver. I'm number one. I play DB and stuff, and he was like number one. He was like, man, you the one. He tried to start telling me about a play I got beat on or something like that. And I gave a touchdown. I was like, sir, you're not talking about me. You must got me confused with a different DB. I ain't give up no touchdowns this year at Wayne.
So you got you mistaken by that person.
Yeah, I was like, man, matter of fact, I only gave up 5 catches this year up at Wayne.
Oh, so you're a shutdown kind of guy. Okay. And what kind of defensive scheme do you like? Have you played at Wayne State, or are you comfortable with?
So off all the ones I see on the screen, I done played in all of these defenses, honestly. My first 2 years up at Morgan, we played a 3-4 with my DC. He was a 3-4 guy. Then under my second DC at Morgan, we ran a 4-2-5. And then this past season at Wayne, we were actually a 4-3. So I would say which one would fit my skill set more? I would say the 4-2-5, and then just because that's more of a traditional nickel. And then the 3-4, how we played it, it was really so I became the like the overhang to the field, and I did really enjoy how that went. But I would say either of those. But then when it comes to safety and those schemes, it's really the same deal for you, man. But I would
Okay.
definitely say I like the 4-2-5.
So the 4-2-5 would be your comfort, but you would be more than capable of playing all those schemes, huh?
Absolutely.
Oh, why did you choose number one? It just seems like a top number.
So really, when I was leaving, when I was transferring from Morgan and I was in the portal, I was like, man, wherever I go, I'm not really tripping about the number, bro. Like, I just want to play football and like have my best season I can. So I was really planning on going to number 30, which was the number they first threw me at Wayne as a true freshman. Now, granted, I never played in 30 at Morgan because during the spring I earned my way into a different number. But when I ended up going to Wayne, um, man, I was going to Wayne. I was like, bro, it's no way I'm not finna wear number one. Like, who else is you gonna give it to? Like, let's be serious. And that's more so what it was. So, like, that's really why I got one. Because I was like, I didn't, it's like kind of contradictory. I was like, man, I don't really care about the number. But if I would have seen somebody else in number one, and I'm like, bro, you're not better than me, bro. Why are you wearing that? Like, let me have that.
Oh, so number one just kind of has a meaning of you being the best. Okay.
Yeah, a
That
little
makes
bit. And I wore last time I wore one was my senior year in high school as well at Groves, and our colors at Groves was green and gold as well, so it kind of worked out that way too. Senior year at high school, wore the green and gold, wore number one. Last year in college, wore the green and gold and wore number one.
oh, for sure. So, what kind of nickname did you have in football?
So when it came to football, so nicknames for me really started in college. So I was telling you, at Morgan, the first number they threw me was number 30. When I tell you, when I showed up, the other freshman DBs in my class, they started getting sweet numbers like number 7, and you know, this other dude got number 20 and number 22, and they threw me number 30. I was like, wow, that's how y'all feel. So just going out, playing, running around, making plays, I became Dirty 30. And then when I changed from 30 to 4, my last name being Coleman, and then additionally to go along with my play style, like you watch the film, you see a couple big hits and everything like that. My name is C4.
CFO. Okay.
C4, and then
Oh, Defo.
when I came to Wayne, uh, I was wearing number one. People try to do K1. I'm not too high on that. I wasn't a big fan of it. But then I also have gotten the nickname Coach throughout Morgan and even at Wayne. And that stems from a little bit of the guys taking little jabs at me. But I think it really just speaks to them saying I'm more of an extension of a coach on the field, man. So Coach,
Okay.
30-30, C4, and then K1,
Oh,
1-2, K1.
C1 and K1. Okay. That's. I guess you had different nicknames with different numbers. Okay, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Which was your best college career game, Wayne State or Morgan State, and why?
I would say my best college game at Wayne was definitely my last one. Senior night, last game of the year. I went out 14 total tackles, 10 solos, two TFLs, as well as an interception. And I won Defensive Player of the Week for the conference that week. So I definitely say that was my best game at Wayne. Best game at Morgan, man. So for me, the type of person I am, it's a couple games where I played really well, but we ended up losing. So that kind of like put a jab on it. But I would say, I know in 2022, it was our homecoming game. We played Norfolk State. I think I finished the game with 8 tackles, um, 5 TFLs, a sack, and a forced fumble. I believe that was my stat line.
Oh, that's a good stat line. That means you were all over the field making good plays and all that stuff. So were you a captain for your Wayne State football team, or I guess that's what it says. Like, were you a captain of that team?
So yeah, I was elected captain by my teammates, my peers, and to me, honestly, it spoke a whole lot. Like I was flattered and I was humble, because I only showed up to Wayne in July. And then when we did elected captains in August, um, like I was one of the 4 captains we had. And it's actually crazy because I didn't, a lot of dudes that vote for themselves. I didn't vote for me. Like I voted for my man Elijah Folks, who actually was another one of the captains. But I just think that speaks volumes to the respect my teammates have for me. And I was just, really fortunate and appreciative to, be one of the ones to lead those guys in the battle, if you would say.
Yeah, it has to be like an honor just to come here for that 1 year there, right?
Yeah, not even a year, man. I was there for I think 5 months, 4 or 5 months.
And they already picked you as a captain. That's just like maybe the experience wise, maybe they see that you're kind of a guy that they can lean on or something. So, who is the toughest offensive player, receiver, tight end, running back that you face, or a rival player that you talk the most trash with, or you've seen as your top rival?
Mm, I don't know about rival. I would say for me, if you use that word rival, I'm more so like look at guys that are fellow DBs, dudes that I'm like, I would consider, oh no, he's a good football player. But I don't want to say no rivals on the offense, but the toughest offensive player I played against in my career, who was really good. I I mean, sure. I'll say Myron Harris from Davenport University.
Ooh, Marvin Harris. Okay.
He's an okay running back, man.
But was he a trash talker?
Oh no, Myron doesn't talk. Myron
He
does
doesn't
not
play
talk.
through the talking. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh, if you could have a pick six for any other quarterback, past or present, who would it be against?
Oh, in the NFL, I think you gotta go Tom Brady, man.
Okay. Tom
You gotta
Brady.
go Tom Brady. Tom Brady or, you know, yeah, you gotta go Tom Brady, man. That's just
Ooh, I like this question by John Jay. Let's answer this question since I didn't get a chance to answer the other question with him a while ago. What is it like being a college football player while being a college student?
so be completely honest with you, man, being a student athlete, I'm not gonna take anything away from people who have actual jobs because we do go out there and play a game, but man, it is a grind. Like when it comes to being a student athlete, whether it's football or even other sports, it's really choices you make, like a daily choice. Because I was told, and some of my firmly believe, when it comes to being a college athlete, it's 3 things in your life. I mean, it's more than three, but it's 3 things. You got school, you have your sport, and then you have your social life. You're not gonna be able to balance all three. Like, you're going to have sacrifice one or one of the three to have success in the others, and that's just That's just how it goes. Um,
Yeah.
Now you see some people who go out on the field and they ball out on the field, and then they party animals afterwards, and they don't take care of it in school. Then on the flip side, you see some of the people who excel in the classroom and excel on the field, and you hardly see them outside. But I would say finding that balance and making those choices like day to day on, okay, what do I want to do today? Like I have to wake up in the morning. It's either I have to or I get to. So it's either I have to wake up in the morning and go to practice, I have to go hard in weights, I have to go to study hall, I have to go take care of my body, I have to go eat, I have to go schedule a meeting with my advisor, I have to go talk to my professor to get some extra work, get some extra help, or I get to. Like I get to go play football this morning. I get to go lift weights and that'll help me get better for in my sport. I get to go pursue my education. I get to go um, seek out help that other people may not have access to. So I'll really just say, man, the mindset and the daily choices are what make being a collegiate football player, I would say, so difficult, and really just finding that balance.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. And how do you prepare for these upcoming pregame, like rituals and all that stuff? What do you do to get ready for these games?
So for me, I'm a big film junkie. So like once we watch the game film from the last game on Sunday, like once it's over with, once it's graded, once we had that meeting, it's on to the next. So really just a whole week watching film. The night before, in the team hotels, I'm usually watching film again, like just going over. And as I got later in my career, I was really big into like, okay, if I'm playing nickel this week, all right, who's my matchup? Like, who are the receivers I'm going to see in the slot? Who's the tight end I'm going to have to deal with most often? So just really watching their last couple games from that year or even years prior. Um, then making sure, I get a good nice rest and then wake up in the morning. I like to wake up really early, get in my Bible, go find a quiet place to read and just, I feel like that somewhat eases my spirits. And then following that, I would go to breakfast. I would take a shower, and then I always do a deep, long stretch routine, just to like pre-prep my body so that way when we get on the bus or and head to the stadium, I'm feeling pretty loose, pretty limber, and then I can go into my my on field work. But the on field drills just stuff to make me feel loose, make me feel quick, fast, explosive while listening to some music. Um, and then a lot of dudes, like some dudes, they gotta throw up and stuff like that before games. Man, I'm not one of those. Man, I'm real. Go use the bathroom, get all them jitters out. Now I'm good. Now I'm good to go, man. So
Well, that's how some people do it. But when is your pro day? Because I know every team has pro days or some type of schools you go to for that.
yes, sir. So right now I currently have two pro days. So being at Wayne and our conference is the GLIAC, they have a conference wide pro day since it's a Division II program. So they invite some of the top prospects and players from our conference all to do one pro day, just so like all the scouts can come to and see. That's on March 10th at 9 a.m. at Grand Valley State University. And then I have a second pro day at Morgan State back in Baltimore. That's on March 27th at 11 a.m.
So you got two pro days to impress teams. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, I'm pretty sure low key the Lions are definitely interested in you because they had all their scouts around that area. So it's got to be pretty obvious. Caleb Cole, how do you tune out the crowd noise?
Man, so to be so honest with you, I don't hear the crowd. Like when I'm going out, I'm on the field. Like I don't hear the crowd. Like I don't hear nothing they say. I'm locked in. I'm tuned into the game. Like that's something I used to wonder. Like when I would watch football, like how are they not distracted? But man, when you watching the game, I mean, like when you playing the game, I'm sorry, it's so many different things like running through my mind. Like, all right, what's our call? All right, if they come out in this, my check is this. If they come out in this, my check is that. Okay, they came out in this. Hey, y'all, we gonna go this. Like communicating to my other safety, to my backer, to my corner. Then it's like, okay, what's the down and distance? Okay, they like to do this, this down and distance, this part of the field. Okay, now what should I be looking for? What would put my corner, my backer in the best position to do that? Then communicate to my other safety. So it's really just a lot going on. So like I don't really hear the crowd. Now when you come to the sideline, oh yeah, I hear what they saying. I hear what they saying.
So you kind of pretty much adjust to all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Um, I think we already pretty much answered the question, Grandizer. I think he answered it earlier. You grew up a Detroit Lions fan, huh?
So I did not grow up a Detroit Lions
Oh, you
fan.
didn't grow up a Lions fan?
No, sir. Because so I didn't start playing the game of football until I was 12. I didn't start watching football until I was in high school. Because when I first started playing, man, I was not good. Like I was not a good football player. In the league I played, it was like they had a 3-play rule. Every kid got to play 3 plays. So I was a 3-play kid. And a lot of those games, I didn't even get my 3 plays. So my first few years playing the game, I was kind of just doing it because I was the way I was raised. My parents said, whatever you start, you know you're gonna finish. And like I said, I wanted to do this. I wanted to play this game. So I was doing that. But and then to go along with my dad, like he didn't really watch the games with us. It wasn't like he would go off and watch the Lions games on his own and stuff like that. So I I didn't really have that connection how most kids do. Like, oh, my dad was a Bengals fan, and I'm a Bengals fan, or he was a Vikings fan, I'm a Vikings fan. I didn't really have that. I got to supporting the Lions though when I was in college, and then it really came from you in the locker room and everybody talking about their team or that they support, and then everybody just bashing the Lions, and I'm like, hey, bro, all right, you ain't gonna keep disrespecting where I'm from and my peoples. So it started with that, and then you know, really luckily Dan Campbell came along, and man, they are what they are now.
Yeah, they are what they are. I think we didn't cover the other hobby stuff that you are outside of football. I think you already did the food part, but the music and sports, what other sports interest you?
So in high school, I wrestled and I ran track, and I would say I didn't get to wrestle until my junior year, but I would say it's definitely like something that still interests me today. Like you can still catch me like watching wrestling YouTube videos from the Big Ten, man. Like them dudes get
Oh,
after it. Like that's real war, like mano y mano. Like it's you and another man on the mat in a cold gym. Like yeah, it may be noise in there, but when you on the mat, you don't hear nothing.
yeah, those are kind of the fun ones because I played the school wrestling stuff in high school and all that
Hmm.
stuff. It's a lot of fun. So I'm guessing since you're into that kind of wrestling, are you kind of into pro wrestling also, or no?
Not at all. I can't do it, bro. Like
No,
I'm not gonna get on nobody's case or like they like what they like, but nah, I more so like the collegiate stuff, man.
oh, the collegiate. Okay,
Yeah, like I love watching Iowa, love watching Penn State wrestle.
so they got some good ones. Yeah, even the ones who came from Minnesota, they kind of wrestle pretty well too.
Yeah, I know they had that one. He was a heavyweight. I think his name was like Gabe or Gabriel or something like that.
Gabe Stevenson or something.
Yeah, he ended up getting like a tryout with the Buffalo Bills, I think, because I remember seeing people was upset about that.
Oh yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of that people kind of interest because it's kind of a fun kind of sport to play. So yeah, that's another good one. So let's just answer a couple more like these other questions, then we can end from here. So let's do some situational questions like common sense. All right. So
Yes, sir.
let's say let's say you guys have a chance to win this ball game, but one of your teammates just unexpectedly just walks out on you guys, but there's a factor of why he left. Complain about his lack of playing time and just refuse to go out there when somebody was hurt because of his feelings. How would you react under the circumstances that he just walked out on you guys during the third quarter?
So let me get this situation down. So let's say a corner, right? So one of my starting corner goes down. We need the backup to come in, but the backup said, "Nah, man, I like y'all been playing me all season. I'm done." He just like walked towards the locker room.
Yeah.
Oh, me, man, next man up. Like if he want to be like that, go ahead. You feel me? We got a game right now. We'll worry about whatever he got going on afterwards. Like, hey, next man up. Look to whoever that may be, the young bull, the transfer, and be like, You wanted your shot. You wanted your opportunity. This your opportunity. This your shot. This your time. Like, man, we gotta go out and win the game. And then we'll talk with that dude afterwards. Like, see what's going on.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. Let's say in the sidelines, there's just two teammates not on the same page. They're just getting way out of hand. How would you handle it as a leader? The situation.
So really haven't been in a situation like that before. It's more so, man, get in between and diffuse. Like, we got to realize that, like, man, as a team. Well, I'm saying this. It's really two sides to it, man. But hey, man, like, we a team. Like, it's us versus the situation. It's us versus the problem. Like, a lot of time, especially on defense, like when you get in them type of heated situations, it'll be like one dude blaming another dude. Like, bro, you said this and it was supposed to be this, or you did that, you was supposed to do this, or. So I would just say, like, diffusing the situation, and like getting them dudes to understand that, like, hey, it's us versus the problem, man. Like, not us versus each other. But then, at the same time, man, sometimes if it's outside of just that immediate moment in football and it's something that's been spilling over, like, sometimes stuff just gotta happen. Like, we men at the end of the day. Like, sometimes some stuff just gotta happen.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. So let's say you guys are down by a couple touchdowns going into halftime. What would be your best speech for this team to come from behind and win this ball game?
Man, I feel like an easy escape out of your question would be say, like, man, I'm not a big speech guy, but I actually have given my fair share of little pep talks or little pick me ups. But man, I would just say something along the lines of, like, hey, boys, we in it. Like, what y'all want to do? Y'all want to tuck y'all tails? You want to cower? You just want to go? You just want to leave? Or we gonna come out? We gonna come out fighting? We gonna come out show some backbone, some fight? You feel me? Like, we gonna fight for pride, or we just gonna y'all just trying to get up out of here. So it'll be something along those lines, like depending on the situation, like we was just getting out schemed, or if say we was failing on one of the three phases of the game, we would talk about picking out that side up. But if we was just getting, like, our jaws kicked up our tail, yeah, that talk could be more so about, like, hey, man, about, like, we gotta have some pride, we gotta have some backbone, like, we gotta come on play football.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. That's a good answer. So I guess this is something. Okay, let me just I guess the way he's saying it, because I don't know about the combine part, but let's just say, well, what would you take from those years in college that you can improve on going into the NFL? Like something that you can improve on the most.
Something that I could improve on the most, I would say that, man, definitely the ball production. Just because in my career, statistically, you may not see a whole lot of that, but if you turn on the film, you find that I'm around the ball a whole lot. One of my OD line coach at Morgan used to say, Caleb, like, you don't really, like, the ball likes you. Like I'm always around the ball in some way, shape, or form, whether it was somebody forced a fumble, I forced a fumble, a ball bouncing off the back of my head, off the back of my back plate, or, me just not turning around fast enough. Um, so I would definitely just say, ball production, um, getting on them jugs and just being, like, a whole lot more comfortable with the ball in my hands, catching the ball.
Okay, that's something you can definitely work on. I guess for this question, do you know the fighting or the theme song of Wayne State? What kind of song they do? Do you know how to sing that? It'd be kind of interesting.
Don't put me on the spot like that, man. Don't put me on the spot.
Ah,
Don't put me on the
okay,
spot.
Grant. I don't think he would, man. I don't know, man. But I guess he gave you. I don't know if that's the right song, but yeah, this guy's he's kind of a funny guy.
Oh, nah, it do go something like that though.
Okay, like this right here.
It's something like the green, like, yeah, the green and gold of old Wayne you flies over the field today. Uh, our hearts, our might, something. Like, I know the melody is like na 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 na, but nah, I wasn't. Nah, I didn't quite learn that one, man. Fortunately.
Okay, so how does it feel that the moment that you feel like this is like the moment you could definitely play for the NFL, but does it feel surreal or business as usual?
Um, So it's really a combination of both, man. Like a lot of people, and I'm no exception, as well as some of the individuals I'm training with. Like we done talked about this on numerous occasions. That like making the moment bigger than what it is, or not living in the moment. And when I say that, you get so caught up on thinking about the future, like thinking about how far away your pro day is, thinking about, oh, what numbers do I have to hit so that I could get a shot, oh, I can get an opportunity, and then thinking about where you are today and how you not where you need to be. Like that stress and that strain, man, like that's a lot that can put you in, like, some dark places, or that can like hold you back. um so I would just say, like, speaking on how surreal it is, like having faith in yourself, having faith in God, or whoever your God may be, whatever you believe in, and just like putting that onto him, and just living in the moment, like taking everything, it's one day at a time, like one drill at a time, one rep at a time. uh Now, when going to say that, it's definitely business. Like, yeah, when we go in and we pre-warming up before the warm-up, yeah, we laughing and we joking. But when this, and even sometimes in the warm up, but when it's time to, get up and work on your 5-10-5, work on your L drill, or work on your vert, and they teach you the steps or how to do it or how to do something, like you need to be locked in. You need to be paying attention. Like the dude I'm training with, Jim Kilbasso, something he always says to us is, y'all, a lot of y'all are small school guys. Like, y'all are not gonna be drafted. That's not the situation you're in. So you looking to be a rookie minicamp invite or an undrafted free agent. And when I tell you, they're looking for any type of reason to get you out of there. So a lot of what he'll do is, when he say like, hey, like, and it happened to me a couple times where, like, he up there, he talking, and I was finishing saying something to somebody, and he'd be like, y'all see that right there? Like, that'll get you cut. A coach talking and you not listening. Um, I say we starting training at 10 o'clock, and you steady rolling in at 10:05. That'll get you cut. You missing training days, that'll get you cut. So I would definitely say, like, it's definitely business, man. Like, it's not you're not a freshman in college no more. You're not a sophomore in college. There is no leeway, because these are professionals. This is the way people provide for their families, whether it be players, GMs, scouts. Um, so it's definitely business.
Okay, that's definitely understandable from the looks of it. So who do you model your game after, from like your game in general?
Um, so I would say I can see it. I appreciate that Derwin James compliment, man. Derwin is a dog, but I would say it's a combination of like three dudes, and I always say these guys. We talked about Brian Branch earlier, man. Brian Branch, like, that man is do it all. He's all over the field. He a ball player. I would say him, just for the fact that, I feel like we play similar roles in the defenses we done played. His Swiss Army knife capabilities, and the fact that he, like I said, he a dog. Another one I would say Buda Baker. Like, Buda Baker, I always say, man, like, he played with like a reckless abandonment. Like, he is never the biggest dude on the field. He might be 5'9", 180 whatever pounds. You gonna feel all that he got, and some more. Like, call him a 100-yard landlord. He be all over the field. Like, it's nowhere you gonna be where he's not gonna get you. So I like that aspect from his game, that he flies around, he plays with no fear. And then the last one is Tyrann Mathieu, man, the original, like the original Honey Badger. Like, he was everywhere. He gonna run up, you feel me? He gonna take on the pulling guard. He gonna cover your slot receiver. He gonna go block punts. He gonna return the punts. He gonna blitz the quarterback. Man, so for him, I just say his mentality, like his internal confidence, and then the swagger he play with.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely appreciate your time, bro. I know you got a lot in place, bro, and whatever the process goes into, bro, I'm definitely rooting for you for your next journey, bro. But so before we end this, bro, tell everybody where they can find your social media platform.
All right, yeah, no problem. So you can follow me on Twitter. It's my name, so it'll be my last name first, Coleman, Coleman. First name Kaleb with a K. And then you can follow me on IG at I am 4Racks. That's I am 4Racks with an S. The number 4.
Okay, that's good. For everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in. But it's been almost a full hour, but we had a good time. So for Kaleb Coleman, bro, good luck on your journey, bro. We're all definitely pulling for you to succeed, man. All right, guys, we'll have a good one.